Hello, class. I hope you're all having a good evening. Tonight we're going to be, well, at least it's tonight for me, Wednesday night. I'm posting this little overview of Chapter 9 for you if you have a chance to view it before tomorrow's class. It's about the foundations of group behavior, and that's what I'm going to be covering in class. I am a firm believer that in the real world you're going to work with a lot of groups who usually don't work isolated by yourself, and you have to somehow get along and work with people. A lot of it is teamwork. Leadership is transparent. There's a lot of synergy going on in the group. So that's essentially what I am going to be covering in this chapter, and I just wanted to highlight some of the points in Chapter 9 that I think are important, what the learning outcomes should be. You want to be able to define group, what is a group, and identify the 5 stages of group development. And you want to be able to show how the role you play in your group requirements change in different situations. Depending on your SWOT analysis of your group, identifying its strengths and weaknesses, you're certainly going to be looking at who can do what best under what situation. You also want to be able to demonstrate how norms, every group has a norm, like their comfort zone, how they work together, understand each other. Norms exert influence on an individual's behavior because sometimes, as we know, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And if you have an individual that's not pulling their weight, it's certainly going to affect the whole synergy within the team. So some of the things we're going to discuss is the dynamics of group behavior, and we're going to show how group size affects group performance. Obviously, the more individuals that are in a group, the less impact each one individual has on the group, but their impact might be huge depending on what the task is at hand. So what about groups working together, what we refer to as cohesive groups? There are benefits and there are disadvantages to working in these groups. Just like a SWOT analysis, we're going to explain the implications of diversity for groups' effectiveness and look at strengths and weaknesses in group decision making. Sometimes somebody is too loud in the group. They think they know everything. They know-it-alls. Then there are others that are too timid. They don't contribute enough. And then there are those that are pretty even-tempered, and they kind of keep things together. The person that keeps things together is the person with the high amount of emotional intelligence. They know how to work the group. They're the conductors. They're like in charge of the orchestra. But you have all your experts that play their own instruments. The person that pulls it all together is the person that, again, has that high amount of emotional intelligence. They see the bigger picture. So we're going to talk about the effectiveness of interacting, brainstorming, and what we refer to as the nominal group technique. So this is what we're going to be covering tomorrow. I want you to click on the reading, listening, and viewing tab once you have seen this video, and there's a whole bunch of neat PowerPoints on some of the things that we're going to be covering in class. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.